The topic today is what is Dharma? It is based on the teachings of Sri Murti, and my name is Dada Rainjitananda. I start with a statement. In this vast universe, there are so many planets, so many stars, so many celestial bodies, and amongst all of them, we find our planet, the Earth. And in our planet, there are many beings, less developed, more developed. And amongst all these beings are the human beings. And we are the highest evolved beings on the planet. Now, why are we considered the highest evolved beings? As human beings, we have a clearly reflected consciousness. And with that consciousness, we have the capacity to distinguish between what is good and what is bad. So, what is good? Good is that which helps us to move towards what we really want. And bad is what creates obstacles. Now, every human being, we want a good life. We don't want suffering. We want just happiness. We want bliss. And that is common to every being, even to other beings. It's also common that we want a good life. We can even say that everyone is in quest for happiness. Every being wants to be happy. And that also relates to other beings, not only human beings, even animals, plants. Animals will look for a nice place to be. Plants, they will also move towards the light where they can get nourishment. But in this quest for happiness, what happens? First, we are attracted to physical enjoyments. We want some wealth, we want power, we want position. But is that what we really want? And why are we attracted to that? Let me put a question to all of you. Just let's test one of the features here. It's a simple question. Let's see the results. All right, so the question was what human beings really want. And money and wealth, nobody. Fame and name, nobody. Power and position, nobody. Okay, 21% happiness and peace, 79% infinite happiness and permanent peace. Okay, so most of us in this class think that we human beings want infinite happiness and permanent peace, and a small percentage just happiness and peace. Maybe it can be that the percentage, the 1%, the 21% there that say we only want happiness and peace, may have chosen that because you may think that permanent or infinite happiness and permanent peace is not possible. It depends. Let's analyze this happiness. Okay. If happiness we get from something external, it will never be permanent because the external object sometimes give us pleasure, sometimes give us pain. And in the external world, there will always be something that's not very pleasant. For example, somebody will die in our family. That cannot be avoided. Some problems will come, also cannot be avoided. Some disease. So many things can happen, which make us, let's say, unhappy. So, from the external world, there will always be happiness, sadness, or unhappiness. And that's normal. Now, this infinite happiness and permanent peace, we cannot get it from the external world. We have to get it from within. And it's a different state from the happiness and peace that we get from the external world. In Sanskrit, which is the language we use for the philosophy, there are two words here. This regular happiness and peace that we get from the external world, we call it sukha. Sukha means we are getting happiness, and there is the opposite. The opposite is dukkha, when we are getting unhappiness or sadness or problems. But this infinite happiness and permanent peace that we get from within has a different name in the philosophy, and this name is Ananda. A different word is used. If somebody is in a state of Ananda, one can be even sad in the external world, but that sadness, even though we experience it, it cannot disturb that inner state of Ananda. Okay, we'll talk more about this as we move ahead during this course, but let's move forward with the presentation. Okay, so in the search for happiness, first we go towards the physical enjoyment. Why? Because the senses attract us to the external world. And that attraction is normal. But the more we get something in the external world, the more we want. A millionaire wants to be a billionaire. One politician who is a city politician wants to be a state politician, wants to be a national politician. We always want more and more. And even we may think that, oh, if I have this kind of house, I will be happy. And then when we get that, we start thinking, maybe I need warmer room, maybe I need a veranda, maybe I need this and I need that. So we're always looking for something more. So the acquisition of something limited only creates the want for more. And what's the problem here? The problem is that the world is limited and our desire is infinite. So this unlimited quest with a limited world creates a problem. We will never be satisfied. What we really want is something infinite, something eternal, an everlasting happiness. To attain that, we need a source that is also infinite, that is also eternal, and that is also everlasting. If the source doesn't have these characteristics, we will end up dissatisfied. We will end up frustrated. So, what is that source that is infinite, eternal, and everlasting? That is what we call the cosmic entity. By definition, cosmic entity is infinite, is eternal, is limitless, and only that can make us happy, can satisfy our hunger for the eternal, our longing for the infinite. So, a philosophical point here is that the cosmic entity alone is infinite and is eternal. Getting back to the human beings, we have two aspects. One is our animal aspect, because we came from the animal world. We are now a developed being, but we were once an animal. So we have that leaning towards the physicality, enjoying the physical things. Animals, they want to eat, they want to sleep. If they have fear, they run away. And reproduction is a strong thing. And they are satisfied with limited enjoyments. They are satisfied if they have enough to eat, they are okay. But us human beings, maybe we got enough, but because of the taste, we want a little bit more and a little bit more, and we end up overeating more than we needed because another drive is pulling us, pushing us, that thing that we want more. And that aspect comes from our conscious aspect, that characteristic of wanting more. But the point is, if we direct that wanting more to the physical, then it's a problem. So we have to direct it towards something else. So worldly material possessions, name, fame, power, position, all these cannot satisfy us. We have seen already politicians, they indulge in so many things trying to satisfy their urge for more. Even millionaires, they do the same. Celebrities, they are very famous, still they are not satisfied. They are frustrated. So what is happening? What is happening is that only if we realize the infinite, we can get satisfaction. Now we come to the word Dharma. What does it mean? It's a word from the Sanskrit language. It means nature or characteristic or property. So the nature of a being, the characteristic of a being, the property of a being, or an element. Suppose we take fire as an example. The characteristic of fire is to burn. The capacity to burn and fire are always together. One doesn't exist without the other. The fire exists because it burns. If it stops burning, it stops existing. So as long as there is something to burn, the fire exists. When it ends everything that was there to burn, it dies. So that's the Dharma of fire, to burn. What about human beings? If we say that we are happy just with eating, sleeping, reproducing, having fear, then there will be not much difference between us and animals. In fact, that's the dharma of animals, just to exist, eat, sleep, reproduce, have fear. But we have something more. We may have that aspect in us, but that's not the predominant aspect. We have that other aspect that we want something infinite. And that's what makes us really human. Otherwise, there will be no difference between us and animals. Even if we, as human beings, if we are just living like animals, it means we, we can be even considered worse than animals. Therefore, the part that makes us different from an animal is that desire for something infinite. So, another point of philosophy here that Dharma of human being is longing for attainment of the cosmic entity, longing for something that is infinite. And the cosmic entity in Sanskrit is Brahma. So, what would be then the Dharma of human beings here? It will be that longing, that desire to attain something infinite, to attain the cosmic entity. Okay, so this is the first part. Now, if I say that the Dharma of human being is to attain the cosmic entity or Brahma, the question comes, does this Brahma really exist? That's the question of a human being.